Hello and welcome to CVR News Network. You're watching CVR English and welcome to World 360 with me, Sandeep. US President Donald Trump has once again claimed credit for halting a potential war between India and Pakistan. Speaking to reporters at White House, Trump stated that instructions his administration to cancel all deals with both the nations, prompting them to stop fighting. His remarks came after a Supreme Court decision on limiting lower court powers in a birthright citizenship case. Trump has previously made similar claims regarding his role in easing tensions in South Asia.
This is a tremendous breakthrough. In a few short months, we've now achieved peace between India and Pakistan, Israel and Iran, and the DRC and Rwanda, and a couple of others also. Serbia, they were getting ready to go to war with a group I won't even mention because it didn't happen. We were able to stop it, but I have a friend in Serbia, and they said we're going to go to war again. And I won't mention that it's Kosovo, but it's Kosovo. But they were going to have a big time war, and we stopped it. We stopped it because of trade. They want to trade with the United States. I said we don't trade with people that go to war. And we said that also with, if you take a look at Pakistan and India, it was great. They have two great leaders, and they were able to stop. They were in the midst of a big fight, I guess everybody saw, and it was going to get very bad. And they are nuclear nations, very powerful nuclear nations. In the months and years ahead, my administration will continue to work closely with all of the parties in this deal and ensure the agreements are fully taken care of, and you're going to do what's in the agreement. We'll say you better do what's in that agreement, right? Because if somebody fails to do that, bad things happen. But I have a feeling that after 30 years, I think after 30 years, you're all set.
We are.
I think both of you have said that's enough, right?
That's enough. Yes.
That's enough. You've seen it all. So this is a wonderful day. This is a tremendous breakthrough. In a few short months, we've now achieved peace between India and Pakistan, Israel and Iran, and the DRC and Rwanda, and a couple of others also. Serbia, they were getting ready to go to war with a group I won't.
President Donald Trump said he is immediately suspending trade talks with Canada over its plans to continue with its tax on technology firms. Trump said the Canadians were sticking to its plan to impose the tax set to take effect on Monday. Responding to it, Canadian President Mark Carney commented moments after US President Donald Trump said that he was terminating all discussions with trade with Canada and threatened new tariffs over Ottawa's plans to push ahead with the digital service tax. Carney called negotiations complex.
Canada put a charge on some of our companies, and Canada has been a very difficult country to deal with over the years. We hear Canada, we have a great relationship with the people of Canada, but it's been very difficult. And they put a charge, and they were a little bit early, we found out about it. So, and we have all the cards, we have every single one. We don't want to do anything bad, but they have, economically, we have such power over Canada. I'd rather not use it, but they did something with our tech companies today trying to copy Europe. They copied Europe. It's not going to work out well for Europe either. And it's not going to work out well for Canada. They were foolish to do it. And so I said, we're going to stop all negotiations with Canada right now until they straighten out their act. Okay?
Is there anything Canada can do to change your mind about this situation?
Well, no, they put a tax on companies that were American companies that they shouldn't, very severe tax. And I guess they could remove it. They will, but it doesn't matter to me. We have all the cards. We have all the cards. We do a lot of business with Canada, but relatively little. They do most of their businesses with us. And when you have that circumstance, you treat people better. They've had farmers that are getting like 300, 400, 200% in tariffs. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. We have cases, you don't read this and the people don't report, but they charge us 400% on some dairy products, 400%. Nobody writes that. It's not fair to our farmers, and we've got to protect our farmers.
No, I didn't speak to the president today.
What do you?
Thanks.
Any reaction to the news you put on?
No, look, we'll continue to conduct these complex negotiations in the best interest of Canadians. It's a negotiation.
Canada put a charge on some of our companies, and Canada's been a very difficult country to deal with over the years. We hear Canada, we have a great relationship with the people of Canada, but it's been very difficult. And they put a charge, and they were a little bit early, we found out about it. And we have all the codes.
Fresh tragedy unfolded in Gaza on June 27th as Israeli airstrikes struck a residential apartment building and a school sheltering displaced families. Gaza health officials say several people, including women and children, were killed or injured. In one heartbreaking scene, a wounded mother searched for her children amid the rubble. In northern Gaza, the Osama bin Zayed school was also targeted, with at least 4 bodies recovered from the site. The Gaza Health Ministry reported that 72 Palestinians were killed and over 170 injured in the past 24 hours alone, amid ongoing Israeli operations. The war began on October 7, 2023, when Hamas launched a surprise strike on Israel, killing 1,200 and taking 251 hostages. In a tragic escalation, a Russian drone strike reportedly hit a residential apartment building in Odisha, Ukraine, early Saturday, killing 2 people and injuring 4. Emergency services confirmed the fatalities and said children were among those evacuated from the burning structure. Odessa Mayor Hennady Trukhanov confirmed that the victims were a couple whose apartment was directly struck. Israeli Defense Forces spokesperson Brigadier General Eiffel Defren emphasized that the mission is not yet complete. 50 hostages remain in captivity and vowed sustained efforts to secure their release. Stating today's action are for tomorrow's future, for the future of us all, our children and grandchildren. He reaffirmed that bringing the remaining captives homes remains the IDF's top priority amid ongoing operations in Gaza.
2 weeks ago, the State of Israel launched Operation Rising Lion in Iran in order to remove an existential threat against the State of Israel. We launched the operation after receiving clear evidence that the Iranian regime was advancing the pace of the missile production and was enriching uranium to high levels. Iran was dangerously close to obtaining a nuclear weapon. The Iranian regime was also coordinating a plan called the Destruction of Israel, which called for a multi-front attack on Israel, beginning with missile fire from Iran and its proxies in the region, followed by a massive ground invasion into Israeli territory. This was not just an idea or a theory, but a concrete, structured plan to wipe Israel off the map. For years, we monitored Iran's actions and worked behind the scenes to delay and stop the threat. This past year, we strengthened capabilities to prepare for the longest distance operation we have ever carried out. As the threats neared the point of no return, we completed the IDF's preparations, secured the home front, and launched the necessary operation against Iran's nuclear and missile programs. We had no other choice. We targeted every layer of the Iranian threat, weakening their abilities and building up our advantages with every strike. The operation began with a surprise opening strike, 1,500 kilometers from home. We targeted nuclear facilities, dozens of senior military commanders, 11 nuclear experts and knowledge hubs, and research and development sites. By doing so, we disrupted all stages of the regime's nuclear weapons production. At the same time, the earth.
A devastating flood in Pakistan has claimed 9 lives, including children and their relatives who tried to rescue them. The sudden surge in water overwhelmed the victims, sweeping them away before help could arrive. The tragedy highlights the growing dangers of extreme weather events in the region. Emergency services are conducting rescue and recovery operations, with more heavy rain forecast. The US Supreme Court dealt a blow on Friday, June 27, to the power of federal judges by restricting their ability to grant broad legal relief in cases as the justices acted in a legal fight over President Donald Trump's bid to limit birthright citizenship, ordering lower courts that blocked the policy to reconsider the scope of their orders. However, the court's 6-3 ruling, authored by conservative Justice Amy Coney Barrett, did not let Trump's policy go into effect immediately and did not address the policy legality. With the court's conservatives in the majority and its liberals dissenting, the ruling specified that Trump's executive order cannot take effect until 30 days after Friday's ruling. More than 150,000 newborns would be denied citizenship annually under Trump's directive, according to the plaintiffs who challenged it, including Democratic attorneys generals of 22 states, as well as immigrant rights advocates and pregnant immigrants.
An amazing decision, one that we're very happy about. This morning, the Supreme Court has delivered a monumental victory for the Constitution, the separation of powers, and the rule of law in striking down the excessive use of nationwide injunctions to interfere with the normal functioning of the executive branch. The Supreme Court has stopped the presidency itself. That's what they've done. And really, it's been an amazing period of time this last hour. There are people elated all over the country. I've seen such happiness and spirit. Sometimes you don't see that, but this case is very important. I was elected on a historic mandate, but in recent months we've seen a handful of radical left judges effectively try to overrule the rightful powers of the president to stop the American people from getting the policies that they voted for in record numbers. It was a grave threat to democracy, frankly, and instead of merely ruling on the immediate cases before them, these judges have attempted to dictate the law for the entire nation. In practice, this meant that if any one of the nearly 700 federal judges disagreed with the policy of a duly elected president of the United States, he or she could block that policy from going into effect or at least delay it for many years, tie it up in the court system. This was a colossal abuse of power which never occurred in American history prior to recent decades, and we've been hit with more nationwide injunctions than were issued in the entire 20th century together. Think of it, more than the entire 20th century, me. I'm grateful to the Supreme Court for stepping in and solving this very, very big and complex problem, and they've made it very simple. I want to thank Justice Barrett, who wrote the opinion. An amazing decision, one that we're very happy about. This morning, the Supreme
Rwanda and Democratic Republic of Congo signed a U.S. brokered peace agreement on June 27th in Washington, aiming to end a brutal conflict that has claimed thousands of lives in 2025. Facilitated by U.S. President Donald Trump's administration and signed in the presence of Secretary of State Marco Rubio, the agreement outlines the withdrawal of Rwandan troops from eastern Congo within 90 days and implementation of 2024 disengagement roadmap. The move comes after M23 rebel group, reportedly backed by Rwanda, seized major cities and mining areas in Congo earlier this year. Both nations now look to stabilize the region and attract global investment into their resource-rich economies.
The agreement being signed includes provisions on the respect for territorial integrity and the prohibition of hostilities, the disengagement, disarmament, and conditional integration of non-state armed groups, the establishment of a joint security coordination mechanism, the facilitation of the return of refugees and internally displaced persons, as well as humanitarian access, the reaffirmation of MONUSCO's mandate, and the establishment of a regional economic integration framework. The agreement also includes an annex on the functioning of the Joint Security Coordination Mechanism and the full text of the concept of operations of the Harmonized Plan for the Neutralization of the FDLR and disengagement of forces / lifting of defensive measures by Rwanda, which was agreed to under the auspices of the Luanda process on October 31st, 2024, and adopted by the foreign ministers on November 25, 2024. With the parties' signatures today, the agreement immediately enters into force. Thank you very much. Congratulations. This concludes the proceedings.
During a press briefing, African journalist Haryana Viras told US President Donald Trump that Congo's President Felix Tshisekedi is considering nominating him for Nobel Peace Prize. Viras said Tshisekedi is very thankful for Trump's role in brokering peace between Rwanda and Congo. Finally, they will have hope, she added, quoting Tshisekedi's appreciation for efforts towards ending the years-long conflict in the region.
Sir, here we have Haryana, who is from the continent of Africa. She's been a reporter here in the United States for many years, and she has a story to share with the press, with the media, and with these two fantastic leaders who have joined you today. So, Haryana, please.
Why don't you come up here and talk so they can see?
Sure.
That'd be great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.
It's a great honor.
Thank you, Mr. President. So, as Caroline has mentioned, President, first of all, I want to let you know that I'm the only African reporter accredited here at the White House
Wow.
and I cover for the entire continent. So I just arrived from Congo, Democratic Republic of the Congo,
Right.
yesterday. I went to see firsthand how the people is feeling and the president's message, President Felix Tshisekedi, about this upcoming peace deal. And let me tell you firsthand what I've witnessed myself. I spoke with the people on the street. I spoke with youth. They know your name. They know that a president named President Trump is working hard to finally bring peace to the country. I saw hope. They have hope now for a better day in Congo. They see what you're doing as a future, better future for Congo. And I had opportunity to sit down with President Felix Tshisekedi for an interview because I want to understand his mind, what he's thinking, his feeling about everything that your administration is doing. And he told me firsthand that for many years, many American presidents overlooked this conflict. They didn't do nothing. Even myself, I cover President Biden's administration. I pressed many times.
Sir, here we have Haryana, who is from the continent of Africa. She's been a reporter here in the United States for many years, and she has a story to share with the press, with the media, and with these two fantastic leaders who have joined you today. So, Haryana, please.
Why don't you come up here and talk so they can see?
Sure.
That'd be great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.
It's a great honor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
A massive funeral procession was held in Tehran for Iranian military commanders and nuclear scientists killed in recent Israeli strikes. Thousands of Iranians gathered in streets to pay the tribute to the slain figures whose coffins were draped in the national flags. The attack has heightened tensions in the Middle East, with calls for retaliation echoing through the crowds. Top Iranian leaders and clerics attended this ceremony.
لحظه‌ای اسارت رو هستند و برای زندگی خودشون، فرزندانشون و وطن و سرزمین مادری و عزیزشون این
مردم عاشقانه اومدن تا بگن ما قدردان فرزند امیر دلهای وطن، ای نور دیدگان که فرزندان وطن آذین گرفته است، قیمت نامش جان است، پرچم ایران است، پرچم ایران.
بالاتر از دست خدا ایران خدا دارد و ثابت کرده که یک دست هم آدهان. اگر پایی به میدان است دستی بر دلگون شد از خون شهیدان خاک باکی نیست. اگر گل هاست که تهرانی مقدم ها و حاجی زاده ها دارد،
پای آرامش فرزندان این آب و خاک، مهد پاک دامنان و جوان مردان، تعالی فرج و شریف و سلام به ایرانی ترین مرد روزگار نام بگرفتند، برای اطلاع وطن سوختند تا هدف نزد.
ملت ایران مردانی هستند از اصناف، از مشاغل مختلف، زنانی هستند خانه‌دار، کودکانی هستند، نوجوانان.
شهدا نامی است که از لحظه حضورمان در عالم به دل و جانمان نشست. وقتی
Thousands of anti-government protesters rally in Bangkok demanding Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra resign after a leaked diplomatic phone call stirred public anger over her leadership.
โคราชเนี่ยตอนนี้บอกว่ามีรถรออยู่นะครับที่หน้าย่ามทำผิดกฎหมายคอร์รัปชันหนีไปประเทศตั้ง17 ปีรู้จักสำนึกว่าจะบริหารประเทศแบบไหนอย่างไรดวงวิญญาณทหารหารที่มาเอาลูกสาวไปอยู่กับน้องสาวที่ต่างประเทศครับพี่น้องครับเป็นกันทั้งบ้านที่ทำไมมีเรื่องเกิดขึ้นเราก็ไม่รู้ว่านายกของเราขายชาติแบบไหนตบมือให้พี่น้องทุกท่านที่มากันในวันนี้ครับวันนี้เอากันสั้นๆเห็นมันมีคนขายชาติชื่อไอ้มุงมิงเป็นนายกรัฐมนตรีตั้งสติให้ดีในนามชนปัญญาชนผู้มีสมองอันบันเจิดโคราชเนี่ยตอนนี้บอกว่ามีรถรออยู่นะครับที่หน้าย่ามทำผิดกฎหมายคอร์รัปชันหนีไปประเทศตั้ง17 ปีรู้จักสำนึก
President Donald Trump said on Friday he would consider bombing Iran if Tehran was enriching uranium to a level that concerned the United States, and he backed inspections of Iran's bombed nuclear sites. At a White House press conference, Trump said he plans to respond soon on comments from Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, who said Iran slapped America in the face by launching an attack against the major U.S. base in Qatar following last weekend's U.S. bombing raid. Trump also said he would like inspectors from the International Atomic Energy Agency or another respected source to be able to inspect Iran's nuclear sites after they were bombed last weekend.
So Iran wants to meet. As you know, their sites were obliterated. They're very evil nuclear sites. They were now has been proven. We had some fake news for a little while. I believe that, and again, time will tell, but I don't believe that they're going to go back into nuclear anytime soon. They spent over $1 trillion on nuclear and they never got it together. Let me say that I've been saying for 25 years, even as a civilian, you cannot let them have a nuclear weapon. And that's what happened. It's been obliterated. It would be years before they could ever get going. And I really think it's probably the last thing. They have to recover from a hell of a tough war.
Would you also be demanding that the IAEA have full rights to inspect in Iran?
Or somebody, yeah, or somebody that we respect, including ourselves.
If the intelligence reports conclude that Iran can enrich uranium to a level that concerns you, would you consider bombing the country again?
Sure, without question, absolutely.
Have you had any conversations?
Turned out to be unbelievable. I'm putting out a little statement. I'm going to respond to the Ayatollah's statement yesterday that we won the war. Oh, God, we won the war. And I said, look, you're a man of great faith, a man who's highly respected in his country. You have to tell the truth. You got beat to hell. And Israel was beat up too. They were both beat up. And it was a great time to end it. It was quick.
That's the end of the bulletin. Keep watching CVR News English.